Many of the foundations of our faith are discussed in this sefer, in this book, the Kuzari. Towards the beginning, the king of the Khazars, asks the sage, the wise man of the Jews, what is your faith based on? And he answers, our faith is based on, we believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and who took us out of Egypt. And the king challenges him and says, I've spoken to other faiths, and they say that they also believe in the God, but they believe in the God that created the heavens and the earth. And the sage, or Rabbi Yehuda Halevi's words, describing the sage's answer, cryptically says that's an intellectual belief. We believe in He who showed us the miracle of Yetzias Mitzrayim. Now, the truth is that our faith is also based on the creation of the world. We know that the Navi Yeshaya tells us, Su'u Marei Meinechem, urges us to look into the heavens, to look at the Bria, to look at the entire universe, and to understand that there must be a creator. In fact, Avraham himself came to believe in monotheism, believe in God, because he realized that there could not be a king of the world that sets at night. The sun can't be the king of the world. The moon can also not be the king of the world. There must be a creator who controls the entire process, who created everything. And then, as the Rambam tells us, that as the Medrash tells us, the Rambam writes the entire story, that he came to understand and come to the Creator, and then the Creator told him, I am the one. So we see that creation itself is also a foundation of our faith. And why is the sage, when talking to the king of the Khazars, so insistent on telling him, we believe in the king, in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and he who took us out of Egypt? Interesting that when we meet Avram for the first time in the Torah, he's Avram, then not Avram, we meet him when Hashem tells him, Lech lecha me'artzecha me'alecha. Yes, we know that he was born. We have the end of Parshas Noach. We know because of the Torah is describing the generations between Noach and Avram, that there was Terach and he was the father and he had sons, and one of the sons was Avram, but we don't know anything about him. We don't have any stories about him. Medrash, Gemara, we have plenty of stories about Avram before the time when we meet him in the Torah about being thrown into the burning furnace. But actually, when the written law, the written Torah tells us about Avram, the Torah tells us about Avram when Hashem spoke to him. Hashem spoke to Avram. Rav Wolbe says that this is the point that Rabbi Yehuda Halevi in Sefer Kuzri, this is the point that the Chacham is drilling into the king. Yes, there is an intellectual process of coming to the realization that the world has a creator, and every person must come to that realization, and that's one of the foundations of our faith and our Amunah and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that there must be a Balabir, there must be a creator, there must be a king of the world, there must be a boss to this world. But that's not what does it for us. What does it for us is there's a boss in the world that we have a relationship with. There's Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, and Elokei Yaakov. There's a God of Abraham, a God of Isaac, and a God of Jacob. There's a God who spoke to Avram. And that's why the first time the Torah tells us about Avram, he tells us that Hashem spoke to Avram. Once Avram came to the realization that there's a Balabira, he revealed himself. He was miskal himself to Avram and he spoke to him. That's what we believe in. We believe in a God that we have a relationship with. And when was that relationship manifested to the entire Klal Yisrael? Yetzias Mitzrayim. When Hashem did the miracle of Yetzias Mitzrayim, he told the Jews, first and foremost, and the entire world, these are my people. I care about these people, every single one of them, and I have a relationship. There's divine providence on each and every one of those Jews, and I'm going to take each one, whoever wanted. The ones that stayed, but the ones that wanted to leave and have a relationship with me, I'm taking them out of Mitzrayim, I'm going to give them the Torah, and they're going to live under me. And from then on, and from that point on, our foundation of faith is not the God who created the heavens and the earth, it's the God we have a relationship with, who cares about us, who knows about us. He's the Hashem of Elokei Avram, the God of Avram, not just the God who had a relationship with Avram, had a relationship with Yitzchak, had a relationship with Yaakov, and he took us out of Mitzrayim. That is the foundation, henceforth, of our faith in Hashem. Rav Wolbe continues and explains that with the words of the famous words of the Rashba describes our Kiddush on Friday night as contradictory, because at the beginning of the Kiddush we talk about Asher Kiddishanu v'mitzvaysav, the God who had commanded us, Asher Kiddishanu v'mitzvaysav, who commanded us in his mitzvahs, v'ratza banu, and wanted us, v'Shabbos kodshoy v'yavav ratzani chilon, and his Shabbos he has given us. It's all about him. It's in the third person. And then towards the end of Kiddush we say, Kivanu v'achar tov v'sanu kidashta, you have blessed us and you have sanctified us. mikol ha'amim. V'Shabbos kodshecha, and your holy Shabbos. So we talk about Hashem in the direct, in the second. We talk to Hashem directly. We say you have. How does in the middle of Kiddush, in the middle of the bracha, it switches from the third person to the direct, because at the beginning of Kiddush, says the Rashba, we say Zeichel L'Maaseh Bereishis, in commemoration of the creation of the world. The creation of the world, we don't have a direct relationship with Hashem. We know He exists by looking at the creation. He's there, He's everywhere. But we don't have a direct relationship with Him. Then it's Hashem who has commanded us. He has given us His Shabbos. But then when we talk about the end of Kiddush, when we say Zecher Yitzias Mitzrayim, then we say Kivanu V'Acharta, you have chosen us. Once we have Yitzias Mitzrayim and Hashem revealed Himself and He gave us the direct line that we have a relationship directly with Him, then it's already a direct relationship. Kivanu V'Acharta V'Sana Kidashta. That's the message, says Rav Wolbe, that's instilled in us by Yitzias Mitzrayim. Every year, when we say the story of the Yitzias Mitzrayim to our children and to all around and all who join us for the Yom Tov, we're teaching them, we're giving over this message that our faith is no longer based on the creation of the world. It's not just an intellectual understanding, it's an understanding, it's a real relationship that we have with Hashem. As the Ramban says, once He showed it to us clearly, and from then on we believe it, and from the small Nisim, we come to believe in the big Nisim. We know it's true because our father told us, and our grandfather told us, and his grandfather, and his great-grandfather told us, and that great-great-great-grandfather who actually left Mitzrayim told his children, Hashem chose me, and He told me directly. He told me, I am your God, I'm the one who took you out of Mitzrayim, and henceforth our foundation of faith is based on that, on Yitzias Mitzrayim. May we all be zeichet to deliver this message, to be able to give over the tradition further to our children, to our grandchildren, to the further generations, and may we be zeichet very soon to the words of Micha, when Hashem will show us once again miracles, great miracles, Kimei Tzeischa Meretz Mitzrayim, just like in the days when you left Egypt, Arer and Neflois. Hashem promises He will show us great and unbelievable miracles. May it be this year. Wishing everybody a Chag Kosher V'Sameach. Subscribe, you'll get the video every week by subscribing. Put a like. Thank you very much. Good Shabbos.